Hey guys, welcome back to Game Dev Tycoon. So when we last left off, I think... What were we doing? I'll have to check. Yeah, we just finished releasing Maxima, the Lost World, to significant success. And we can research some new things like the target audience, which is going to be very important later in the game. So this is what target audience does. Yeah. So you target, basically, you pick a specific demographic that you want your age demographic specifically that you want your game to appeal to, be it young, everyone, or mature. Each topic, each genre, and each platform has a specific appeal to these different. So for instance, whenever they introduce Game Boys later, they're going to appeal mainly to young, and then secondary to everyone, and then not so much to mature. PCs, however, are very popular with mature audiences, sort of popular with everyone, and not very popular at all with young. So it kind of goes, and then it kind of goes all ways, all around. So, for our next game, what are we going to do? We can't research a new topic, so we're just going to have to go on. I wonder if we can create a custom engine. I don't really want to do that just yet, so we're just going to go ahead and develop a new game. First I need to check and see, look at our game history and see how long it's been. We've made a bunch of adventure games lately, so we don't want to keep repeating ourselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a ninja RPG and kind of focus it towards everyone. And then you have to pay a license fee to start developing on console later. Actually, we're going to change that to... I can't remember if RPG does well. I don't think it does. I think Adventure does better. I can't remember which one. It's always a gamble. We'll probably just end up trashing this game, most likely. So we'll call it Sushi. Sneaking Masters. Yes, for those who don't understand, I'm trying to ape Tenchu here very horribly. Hold on a second. If you heard something that sounded like a door opening and the crying of a poor defenseless animal, that probably was my cat being annoying. So I now have a gigantic gray baby lying on my lap purring. So I guess I'll just have to continue the rest of the record like this. Okay, so for RPG, probably gonna do the same thing we did. Oh, we already made an RPG. Shoot. We really don't want to... we'll definitely end up trashing this game, I guess. Because we've basically just produced the same game twice. I mean, most companies do that, but we can't afford to do that right now. You see, if you kind of start recycling ideas, you'll notice that your little blips will not have as big as that output as they normally would. So see, we're already producing less than what we did with, alright, graphic. Not putting much thought into this, really. This is just so we can get some research points. You retain, even if you trash a game, you retain all the XP you gain from creating it, including the research. So we're just going to end up trashing this, because it's not really worth releasing. It's just going to probably lose its fans. Trash can, yes. Yes, alright. Now we're going to research some stuff. research mono sound so we can create a new game engine later. Mono sound. Now we're going to develop a new game. What should it be? I don't want to make a new engine just yet. Since we haven't made a strategy game recently, let's do a strategy game for the PC. Actually, cyberpunk action game. Cyberpunk RPG. Cyberpunk and RPG does really well because, you know, Deus Ex. So we're gonna market it to we're gonna actually market it to mature and then put it on the PC and call it. What are we gonna call this? It needs to be a Latin phrase, obviously. It could be. We'll make it a strategy game because that's like what Syndicate is. So, and we'll just call it Coalition. Actually, that doesn't sound as cool. Corporate Wars, let's do that. Engine. So here, this is one of the kind of random events in the game where you will they'll ask you what you want if you like what when you start marketing towards mature audiences. They'll ask you like, are you sure about this? And you can either no comment. Usually what some of these do is they create hype. So we're gonna give an interview because I want to do this, and they'll publish it next week. We want to generate a decent amount of hype around this. Yeah, I think mature content we're willing to give a risk. See, it already creates 11 hype. So what hype does is it basically makes the game sell better, and it can be kind of detrimental. See, we didn't really get who. I'm gonna release it and hope to God that it does alright. That does marginally well. If it does marginally well, we're okay. Alright, good. Basically, the only game over, really, in this game is if you go bankrupt. And you go bankrupt if you, I think if you go into the red, like if you go, like you're in debt $50,000, the bank, or later in the game, the bank will offer to bail you out and you have to pay it back in a few years' time. But it's a one-time deal. So you really can't I think you can do it once per stage, maybe. You can't do it in the first stage at all, so it's really kind of dependent on you. Yeah, Cyberpunk and strategy is a bad combination. What? Haven't you ever played Syndicate? That was a good game. Fools, imbeciles. Alright, we're gonna do some contract work to earn some money. Basically, contract works is just, yeah, work can't do that. You have a set amount of weeks, and you have to produce the blips, the required amount of blips, and you get a pay. You also get a penalty if you go over that time. So we're going to do game backdrops because that's the easiest one. Once you get employees later in the game, they also will contribute to contract work. Alright, research. This is the Gameling, yeah, the Game Boy, basically. Alright, so we researched Virtual Pet, which basically is... God, I've got such horrible... We could research government, or we could just do casual games. I don't think we're going to need to do casual games yet. But maybe? I don't know. Ugh. Let's just do government. And the question is, which would government's most likely going to be either strategy or simulation. And I'm going to just go ahead with simulation because I've already done a strategy game, so. Alright. We're actually just going to go ahead and do, since, you know, the Gameling's come out, we're going to go ahead and do buy a production license, market towards young kids, and we're just going to do, I always name it Virtue Pet. Alright, story and quests, gonna be low. Engine's gonna be high, gameplay not so much. Alright, and we seem to be moving along pretty well. This is the part that I always... I think... world design and graphics. Not so much world design. We're gonna try this. Alright, let's wait till the bugs to finish patching. See if we can get... Usually it takes a bit, but you can always get... There we go. A couple more blips out. Yay, new record. Alright, let's hold our breath, guys. Ooh. Yay. Please, God. Please be good. Great. Well, that was our last hope, guys. We're probably going to be stuck in this hellhole for eons. Great combination. Level design seems to be quite important for this kind of game. Great. Just great. Oh, God. I think once we get to $500,000 in the bank, we can move into a new... Yeah, once we hit game, we need more than $1 million in cash to move to the next level. And howdy Jesus, are we taking forever to get there? Alright, we're gonna make a new game engine. Ooh, fantasy! God, okay. Yeah, we're gonna research fantasy, and then we're gonna research open world and 2D graphics if we can. I don't think we will be able to though. Fantasy? Fantasy is a very good topic. It's like Cyberpunk, but... Alright, so we can do open world and better user experience, so that's... Actually, we can't do better user experience. Damn it. Alright, but we're still good. We're probably gonna have to do a trash game, so... Open world. Develop new game. We're just gonna do whatever, I don't even care. Action. Subtle nod to film, oh god, what's the word? Film connoisseurs out there. Alright. This is just to earn research points so we can get at least one more thing in. There we go. Alright. Now we can research. What is it? 3. Ooh. Let's just go ahead and do 3D graphics. And then we can make a new game engine. Usually about this time I'm already on to the next level. Hopefully. Alright. Develop new game. We're going to develop a custom engine first. And make it. Open world, game tutorials, mono sound. Ooh, this is going to be costly. Alright. We're going to name this one Hydra. Hail Hydra. I don't know how to spell. Now we wait until the... You know, we might be able to actually get a new topic. Alright. Research. New topic. Werewolf. Let's just go ahead. We want to save our money at the moment, so we're just going to go ahead and develop a new game. Fantasy. Everybody. RPG. What was the last game we made, actually? Simulation. Yeah, we're good. Actually, we haven't done a platform. Oop. Knights and Kings. Deus Vult. Graphics with all new enhanced 3D graphics. It'll be a while before we actually make the game tutorial. Hmm. World design. I can't remember. God. I think that's the right one. I can't remember. I'm gonna be damned if I do, damned if I don't, I guess. Hui. This is stressful, guys. Let's see how it does. Oh, this is our hit. This is our hit. Thank God, finally, we made it. Truly great. 10 out of 10. My new favorite. Thank God. Please be just fuck you. It's always that one reviewer that just is like, nah, it's not quite a 10. I'm just gonna rub salt in your eyes. This is just no, we've hit our hit, so we should maybe make rolling in the dough. Yep, look at that. Achieved a company sales record with over 100,000 units sold. Yes, quite a bit of capital. Move. Finally, we can start the actually fun part of the game. Alright, so this is where we start hiring people. And what we're going to do is first we're going to generate a game report of 19 Kings, Deus Vult. I'm pretty sure it's the best game because you could remove Kebab. Don't quote me on that. Dialogue seems to be not very important. No shit, it's a strategy game. Alright, now we get to the bit where you start having to train. You have stats now. And first thing we need to train is in, what's it? Staff management, so we can hire people. Alright. Hire our very first employee. Fill position. Yes, I understand. Main problem I have with this game is that the tutorial, regardless of whether or not you play the game, it always pops up. It's always there. We want someone who's really, they're both level 3, and I can't really afford to pay them that much, so. Alright, budget. We're gonna do complex algorithms. Generated 2 million in sales. That's great. Alright. What you're gonna do is you're gonna research some new stuff. Alright. Probably the best thing at this point would be to research marketing, because it's gonna be very vital for us to market stuff later in the game. Alright, so now we have the thing. We have either someone at level 1, we're gonna need to train them very well in design, because they're all of their stats are in technology for some reason. And since they're level 1, they're cheaper to hire. Alright. Train. Welcome staff training. Okay. Now this is the actually fun part, because you actually can start making interesting games that aren't stupid and, you know, limited. Alright. Marketing. I think towards the end of the game you can even develop your own console, but I have never been able to get enough research points to do that. Alright, so first order of business is we need to make a new game. Develop new game. What we're gonna do is a new fantasy game, fantasy RPG. Actually, we're gonna do a new dungeon RPG. And it's gonna be Maxima 2. PC. It's gonna be made with a Hydra. We're gonna Maxima 2. What should we call it? Goodness. Maxima 2. Return. Giants return. Return of the Giants. Giants return or return. Giants We can't have any Giants return. That's what we're gonna do. We may change that subtitle blurb later. Okay, gameplay is gonna be second. Engine's not gonna be very much. And we can stand to spend a little bit on marketing, so. And it's very important that you don't invest too much. What marketing does is it creates hype. And we cannot afford. So what we're going to do is we're going to do magazines and demos to just get some hype stewing in the background. Oh, another bit. Really want this game to sell. Wait, come on, get one last proposition. Also, this is another random event you get, where you're proposed to offer some research information, and we can transfer where we're going to do it. So, thank you for business. Research prison, wonderful. All right. You'll notice that our hype. New record, yay! Maximum of 2. Sword of Light. Alright, let's see how it does. Ooh, ooh. Excellent. Almost perfect. X. Very good, very good. Good, good, good. All around very good. Okay, so we got an 8. And the hype served us well, so that's going to sell extremely well and make us back a ton of money. We need to train him too, so what we're going to do is train him in design a bit. So, and the thing I hate about this is also training costs research points for some strange reason, because there are so many things in the game that research points already cost that it's just another add-on thing that drains up research points, and you can't use them for stuff that's actually important. We can research 2 things, so probably what we're going to end up doing is not really researching a new topic. Probably go with medium games and better dialogues, I'd say. Would be a good choice. Also, this is where you start getting publishing contracts, which is what you will need to do when you're still a very small company. So basically, a larger company will come over and be like, hey, they'll give you the criteria for what game they want you to produce. Sometimes you have to really discern what's a terrible contract which will not sell, and what's a good contract. The ones that are terrible are usually the ones that have like wanting you to make a music action game or something for the PS3 or whatever the analog is in this game. So you really have to be careful and not choose a terrible contract. So we'll look at publishing contracts real quick to give you an idea. Publishing deal. Oh, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's really important that you. Yeah, see, it'll provide like. Oh goodness, what I'm trying to say. The topic, if any, is set, the genre, and the the console that it's on. I am very tired, so that's why. Then it also gives you the minimum required score, and if you don't get above this, you have to pay a penalty, and you don't get any of the money that you went into it. So it's terrible. So there's terrible contracts right there. So we're not going to do anything on that. What we're going to do is we're going to research better dialogues. Sort of liked it quite well. And now, search better dialogues. We'll look at custom game engine. We really can't make. It's really best to try and get at least two new features, 2 or more features for a new engine, and then create your new engine. And sometimes that puts you behind, but it's better than spending a ton of money just adding one feature. Okay, so we have to make a new game. A new game, and after this we're going to stop there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do another Cyberpunk RPG. Put it on the PC again because PC Master Race. And yeah. Also, the way you design, and we're going to call it... Oh, what's a good... I'm trying to think of what a good Deus Ex style name is. This is tricky. Well, I can't think of one. Good grief. Ooh, how about Darkstorm? I can't spell. Darkstorm. Or Dark Cloud or something. No. Yeah, there's the achievement for naming a game. Writer's block. We're just gonna steal Syndicate's name and just call it Syndicate. Or how about the Syndicate? Engine, strike request. Hope this one does well, marginally even. We did pretty good in design, so. Which, I mean, the original Deus Ex was not at all a technological masterpiece by any means. I mean, my favorite story about the development of the original Deus Ex is how, whenever they were creating the first level, they did not. Whenever people were playing it, whenever it first came out, people noticed that the Twin Towers were absent from the background in New York. And the game was released in 2000, so it was a full year before 9/11 happened. So people noticed that, you know, the Twin Towers were missing, and the reason was because there wasn't enough memory. It would be like too constrictive to put the Twin Towers in the background. It would take up too much memory. So they just kept them out and added an in-game reason that they were destroyed in a terrorist attack. Man, it's just... some things are quite strange, honestly. We're just going to actually just call this Syndicate, because the Syndicate makes it kind of hard to do sequel names. And let's hope it does well. Please get an 8. Oh, yay. Excellent. Excellent. Another 8. Come on, get a 9. Get a 9. Something get a 10. Damn it. I don't know, a 7 feels bad because it's not an 8. An 8 I would feel comfortable with, but a 7's just, nah. I should have done some marketing for that. It would probably sold better if it did. Great combination. World design seems very important. Cyberpunk mature. Great. Excellent. Alright, well, that about does it for this episode, guys. I will see you next time on Game Dev Tycoon.